From the Walt Disney World Resort near Orlando, Florida, it's Walt Disney World, 20 magical years. Join the fabulous 20th kickoff party to a year of surprises. Celebrate the exciting new attractions at Walt Disney World. Party at Pleasure Island and get wet at Typhoon Lagoon. Plus vacation tips from travel expert Steve Birnbaum and much more.
20 years ago, something very special happened at Cinderella Castle that touched the lives of millions. That's when the Magic Kingdom opened its doors to the world, proving that dreams can come true. Hi, everybody. I'm Tim Klein. This show is about those dreams and making you a part of them. Get set. You're invited to the kickoff party to the biggest year ever in the history of Walt Disney World. Walt Disney World celebrates its 20th birthday with a fabulous party every day. To kick off a whole year of surprises, visitors and special guests were treated to a birthday bash that was out of this world.
Celebrate!
This grand occasion was also a time for Walt Disney's nephew Roy to rededicate the Magic Kingdom, the project his father dedicated in Walt's name in 1971.
I learned many things from him and from my Uncle Walt. But I think the most important thing I learned that day 20 years ago was that you can never underestimate the power of a dream.
Mickey, let the party begin.
Celebrate!
Delta Airlines, the official airline of Walt Disney World, co-sponsored the party, flying in guests from all over the globe. All were treated to the premieres of 20 exciting new shows and attractions in honor of the 20th.
Guided by 1,000 points of light. Oh, you see the lights everywhere.
This kickoff party was more than amusement technology that's state-of-the-art. It was also a time for the state of the heart.
They sum up the genius of this great and generous land. Ordinary people, but doing extraordinary things.
More than 500 volunteers from around the country were honored for their community service. This was the first time these points of light had been brought together. No matter how wonderful Walt Disney World is during the day, it gets even better at night. Spectral magic weaves miles of fiber optics and a million lights to create this magnificent new parade. Now, imagine your uncle was the man capable of dreaming the wonders of Walt Disney World. Then imagine it was your father who made the dream reality. On this day especially, Roy Disney remembered his father, who met the challenge of living up to Walt's dream.
My father had not really ever thought of himself as a creative human being. He was the business guy, Walt was the creative guy. All of a sudden, Walt was gone. Here was this plan to build this park. My father stuck his chin out a little bit and he said, we're going to build that park anyway. And that day, the 1st of October, 1971, I have never been prouder of anybody in my life than I was of my father.
Roy, we have a surprise for you, which you don't know about.
Somehow it was fitting that Roy Disney should get the biggest surprise.
We thought it would be appropriate for you to read the same dedication your father did 20 years ago from this same plaque he held in his hands near this very same spot. Roy.
All right. Walt Disney World is a tribute to the philosophy and life of Walter Elias Disney. and to the talents, the dedication, and the loyalty of the entire Disney organization
that made Walt Disney's dream come true. A magic kingdom where the young at heart of all ages can laugh and play
and learn together. Dedicated this first day of October 1971, and it's signed Roy O. Disney, my dad.
The biggest surprise of all is that this 20th birthday party never ends. Walt Disney World celebrates a year of surprises all year long and beyond. Without Walt's dream and Roy's commitment to make that dream a reality, there would be no Walt Disney World. Today, during the 20th anniversary year, Walt Disney World includes 3 major theme parks, countless attractions, and lots of cute Disney characters.
We know what we hope to accomplish. And believe me, it's the most exciting and challenging assignment we've ever tackled at Walt Disney Productions.
Walt Disney was as familiar as everyone's favorite uncle. But in reality, he was the king of dreams come true. In 1968, Walt Disney started building his dream on 28,000 acres of Florida flatland outside the city of Orlando. The Magic Kingdom was the first to open in 1971, followed in 1982 by Epcot Center. The Disney-MGM Studios theme park was created by Walt's successor, Michael Eisner. It opened just 2 years ago. Over the last 20 years, Walt Disney's original dream has expanded to include water parks, nightclubs, and fabulous hotels. There's something here for everyone, based on good old-fashioned family values found on Main Street, USA. Main Street is modeled on small-town America at the turn of the century, only simpler, more carefree, and as charming as a magician's wand. It's the gateway to the Magic Kingdom. Fantasyland and Mickey Starland are popular starting points for families, especially children. In fact, Mickey Starland is where guests can actually meet Mickey Mouse and the stars from the Disney afternoon. Not only fairy tales come to life here, you can explore the 7 different lands that make up the Magic Kingdom. Each has its own unique theme, from the Wild West to exotic jungles and adventures with pirates. Tomorrowland is home to the wildly popular Space Mountain. The new 20th anniversary surprise celebration parade comes down Main Street, USA every day. And every night, spectral magic lights up the skies. Epcot Center's Future World mixes state-of-the-art technology with big imagination. Like a child who takes apart a watch, Walt Disney was fascinated by what makes the world tick. In Future World, the challenges of the next century become thrilling rides and attractions. The other half of Epcot Center is World Showcase. Visitors can shop, eat, and enjoy the unique entertainment of 11 different countries. It's another of Walt's dreams for the future. People from around the world living in peace and prosperity. World Showcase also provides the best view of Surprise in the Skies, the new high-tech fireworks show designed for daylight. The Disney-MGM Studios theme park showcases the ultimate family fantasy, show business. This is Hollywood Boulevard in its heyday of the 1940s. The streets are filled with movie making and movie star wannabes. But here, visitors can do more than just wish upon a star. They can become one. Daily auditions for an appearance on the Disney Channel give visitors a shot at the big time. Or there is always the chance to spot stars who have already made it. The Mickey Mouse Club is just one of the shows being taped here in the real-life production studios. At the Disney-MGM Studios theme park, the surprises keep on coming. From Catastrophe Canyon to Indiana Jones' Epic Stunt Spectacular, Star Tours, to Jim Henson's Muppet Vision 3D. Every one of them is created to live up to the 20th anniversary theme, A Year of Surprises. The Disney-MGM Studios theme park has 9 new attractions in honor of the 20th anniversary, including the spectacular Sorcery in the Sky. Walt Disney wanted the magic to last through every minute of the vacation, so each of the 11 resort hotels has its own unique theme, from contemporary to Caribbean to incredible. There are rooms in every price range and even campground facilities. Transportation is provided all over Walt Disney World. The Walt Disney World Resort will never be completed. The story will never end. It just keeps adding new pages. And that's the way Walt would have wanted it. For the 20th anniversary year of surprises, the folks here at Walt Disney World have created 20 spectacular new reasons to visit the Vacation Kingdom. Yes, Mickey? Okay, fine. Mickey says, why give away all the surprises at once? What we'll do is tell you what those 20 new reasons are at the end of the program, but Mickey says I can show you hints throughout the show. Is that right? Okay, fine. I think we'll do it that way because, after all, Mickey's the boss.
Still to come, are these buildings supposed to look this way?
That's like asking if one of your children didn't turn out the way you thought they were going to be. They're all perfect. They're just perfect.
And the truth about fun at Typhoon Lagoon.
This is Future World at Epcot Center, a place that makes technology entertaining. Disney Company Chairman Michael Eisner believes that Walt Disney World entertainment shouldn't stop with the theme parks. It should continue to the resorts and even the office buildings. People expect fantasy in the theme parks at Walt Disney World, but hotels and office buildings are now part of the make-believe. Company Chairman Michael Eisner calls these eye-popping structures entertainment architecture, because here, in the world devoted to happiness, even the buildings are fun.
It's no more expensive to build a great building than to build a dumb building. And therefore, if you're going to build something and spend all that money, you might as well have a good time with it.
About 50 years ago, Walt Disney mastered the art of storytelling. Cartoon characters such as Mickey Mouse and others became household names. They actually came to life in Walt Disney World. When Michael took the job of running the Walt Disney Company in 1984, he took fantasy even farther. He decided every new building would have a theme that tells a story. It seemed like a good idea at the time to start with a hotel shaped like Mickey Mouse.
I thought it would be a good idea to have Mickey Mouse straddle Riverside Drive in California, but I didn't know anything about construction, and it became uneconomic and stupid, and has plagued me. It was an idea that came and went in 20 minutes.
But Michael didn't give up on the idea of one-of-a-kind buildings. Instead, he found the architects who could make his dreams come true. This is the Team Disney building. When you work at this office, time is of the essence, but you never need a watch. The world's biggest sundial is located right in the center of the building.
We've had a great time putting those architects together with our Walt Disney Imagineers, and out pops the Beach Club or the Yacht Club or the Grand Floridian. You know, they all come out of that process, and it's like making a movie. They tell a story, and the difference is you live in the story.
The story of the New England-style Yacht and Beach Club resorts begins with Once Upon a Time. The hotel's clapboard siding and hardwood floors recreate life along the eastern seaboard at the turn of the century. Victorian elegance is the theme of the Grand Floridian Beach Resort Hotel. Careful attention to details of the era include an open-cage elevator and a 5-story ceiling graced with stained glass and chandeliers. The same attention to details creates a romantic New Orleans at Port Orleans, or a whimsical greeting to job applicants at the Walt Disney World Casting Center. Michael is very much involved with planning every one of them.
Well, I get involved in the details, from the ashtrays to the salt and pepper shakers, because I figure if I ask about it, somebody will have an interest in it. So I'm into everything.
So it's no surprise that Michael feels very protective of his buildings, even when critics think some of them don't mix with the landscape.
I think I'm like everybody else. I will say to a critic, I really want to know what you think about what we've done. And then when they tell me if it's negative, I hate them and I wish I hadn't asked.
Some people may think entertainment architecture is ahead of its time and full of surprises, but one thing is for sure, Michael Eisner will keep on building.
My favorite building is usually our last building, so I would say the favorite building that I have now at Disney is Dixie Landings, although my second favorite is the one just before Dixie Landings. My favorite one before that is the so forth.
There's so much to see and do at Walt Disney World, sometimes it's good to get a little planning advice. We've got some for you from an expert.
Hi, I'm Steve Birnbaum, and I write the official guide to Walt Disney World. And by now you're probably convinced that having a practical guide to Walt Disney World can be a great help. This being the 20th anniversary year, there's a lot more to see and do. So the most important thing for a family is to decide what they want to see most and then make a plan. Before you arrive, you should know that Walt Disney World has lots of special packages, such as those with Delta Airlines that offer a complete vacation package, usually with special fares for different times of the year. Once here, recognize that it will take at least 3 or 4 days to make even the most superficial tour of the best of Walt Disney World attractions, and that most mortals should devote 5 full days to the experience to see it all comfortably. To get the most fun out of your visit, you really ought to wear comfortable clothes. And remember, try to get an early start in the morning. Just between us, the park often opens a full half hour before the scheduled time, especially during peak times during the year. And those are the times of the early morning when the lines are least long at the most popular attractions. Remember, too, that Walt Disney World is a right-handed place, so always head for lines on the left-hand side when you have the chance. Then, around 11 o'clock or so, when the number of people in the park starts to grow, take off for some of those less-known attractions. Maybe play around a golf, lie alongside the waters of Typhoon Lagoon or River Country, or beside the pool at your hotel, and generally enjoy a little lighthearted leisure. Remember to pace yourself. Then, as everyone else is nearing exhaustion in the mid-afternoon, return to the park and enjoy the short lines of the late afternoon and then twilight and the gathering darkness that adds to the magic of any Walt Disney World visit. I'm Steve Birnbaum.
One thing you'll have to plan into your vacation to Walt Disney World is a trip to Typhoon Lagoon. It's the ultimate water theme park. Scott Cassidy is standing by to give us the inside scoop. Just how much fun is it really?
Scott Cassidy reporting. I'm here to find out the truth about Typhoon Lagoon. People have loved Walt Disney World for 20 years. Typhoon Lagoon, one of Walt Disney World's newest attractions, has prompted an inordinate amount of praise. Let's find out just how much fun this place really is. Here along Castaway Creek, people float lazily down in their very own inner tubes. Oh, sure, they look like they're having a great time, but are they really? Hey, nice running into you. Are you having a great time?
Having a great time.
What do you think of my swimsuit?
I love it.
I love yours, too. At the heart of Typhoon Lagoon Water Park is Typhoon Lagoon. Every few minutes, artificial waves are created. But I ask you, how exciting could fake waves be? Are you having a great time?
Yes, we are.
Just do this if you're having fun. You're rafting and you can't get up. It's great to see. What do you think of my get up?
That's nice.
Those yours. Entertaining. Relaxing. And wet. Pardon me, you look like you're trying to relax at Typhoon Lagoon.
I'm trying to, yes. It's lovely.
You look like someone who could really enjoy a water slide. Maybe something like Humunga Cowabunga. What do you think?
It's really fast.
We've been looking into whether people are having fun at Typhoon Lagoon, and we've interviewed dozens of people. We've looked at the cool, clear water. Bottom line at Typhoon Lagoon, it's fun. It is fun. Crew, let's go. Let's hit the beach. Do people really have fun here? Scott Cassidy reporting.
Next up, nighttime entertainment at Pleasure Island, plus the tour that tells you the secrets of Disney animation. Later in the show, Steve Birnbaum takes you to dinner at his favorite Walt Disney World restaurants, plus tips on traveling with children.
With every great Disney film has come wonderful new characters. And here within World Showcase, all the characters dressed in authentic costumes. You know, it's hard to imagine that all of this started with a little mouse named Mickey. Animation is the lifeblood of the Walt Disney Company.
The gift of life is thine.
It all began in California with an animated character named Mickey Mouse. Today, a branch office of the famous Disney animation studio in Hollywood exists at the Disney-MGM Studios theme park in Florida. It's not only a working animation building designed to produce short animated films, it is also an attraction where guests can see for themselves how Disney cartoon characters come to life.
They come into our studio and they look through the glass and see animators sitting there drawing, 80 people sitting there at their desk drawing, and the look on their faces is extraordinary. And I think it's because they didn't know what to expect, or if they did, they were thinking that it couldn't possibly be hand-drawn anymore. And of course, essentially, it still is.
The director of operations for the animation studio is Max Howard. Max oversees a team of almost 70 artists. For Max, producing Disney animated featurettes means being part of a legacy that began with Walt Disney. With the release of Steamboat Willie in 1928, Mickey Mouse became famous, and Walt Disney created a new art form, the animated cartoon with sound. When his first full-length animated feature film, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, came to the theaters in 1937, Disney and his band of animators set the standard that exists today.
It's a thrill when we feel we're making films that can be put up against those classics. What we have to think about as Walt Disney was an innovator, and we have to be innovative in the way in which we make our films, in the same way that he was. He never looked back, he always looked forward, he was always trying new things, and hopefully we're doing exactly the same thing today.
Some of the people that really make a move.
Walt's nephew, Roy Disney, inherited Walt's desire to keep Disney animation moving forward. Together, Roy Disney and Michael Eisner decided a fresh commitment to animated films would guide the company's path into the future.
I can walk!
Clearly, we have said to the world, look, you know, we didn't stop when Walt died.
The studio would produce one full-length animated feature film every year, and from those films would come new characters for the Disney theme parks. Guests on the Disney Animation Tour will see talented artists meticulously drawing every character by hand. Since the studio opened in 1989, animators here have completed segments of The Prince and the Pauper.
Oh, if I could take your place for just one day.
Rescuers Down Under. and Roller Coaster Rabbit. Disney's latest release, Beauty and the Beast, was also partially created here.
He was mean and he was coarse and unrefined.
I happen to think it's a wonderful movie, and I think it's going to be very successful, largely because it's very good.
The average Disney full-length animated feature film takes over 1 million drawings to create.
What they can't do these days.
The 7-minute animated short, Roller Coaster Rabbit, took over 40,000 individual drawings, backgrounds, and cells. So, how is it all done? The art of animation begins with a good story.
One night, a long time ago.
First, the story is told by combining pictures and words on a storyboard. After the dialogue for a film is recorded, the animator begins to shape the character and its personality, pulling inspiration from the actor's voice.
They have to be great artists, but the great animators have the ability to make you believe in the character, and I suppose give the character a life and soul. It's drawing from the inside out. It's doing what a great actor does on the screen.
When drawings are viewed in sequence by flipping the pages, the character seems to come alive.
I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty.
When a drawing is completed, it's photocopied to a sheet of plastic called a cell. Every cell is hand-painted and then photographed one at a time to create the illusion of life. It is here the elements of story, character, acting, and mood come together. Later, music and sound effects are added to help complete the feeling of reality.
It's a great moment when you sit in a movie theater with all of the artists together who watch that film and see it come to life. But there's no one person's hand that's made it. It's a collective art form.
Walt Disney, through his films, has made a tremendous contribution to the folklore of the world. He had the amazing ability to reach the human heart. Today, guests of the Disney Animation Tour can see talented artists carrying on Walt Disney's pioneering spirit, transporting audiences to magical places that exist only in the mind of the animator.
I just love happy endings.
There's always been real magic and happy endings, which has always been a Disney tradition. Disney's newest animated feature film is called Aladdin. It's the story of a young boy who's granted 3 wishes, and you could bet it'll have plenty of that Disney magic. Well, the man who provides plenty of magic every evening to thousands in Pleasure Island is Art Levitt. You might say Art has the magic touch.
This is Pleasure Island. It's unbelievable. It's the only place on Earth that's totally dedicated to having fun and totally dedicated to celebrating the unexpected.
See what I mean? Now here at Walt Disney World, the theme for our 20th anniversary is a year of surprises. And here at Pleasure Island, surprises are what we're all about.
This island is fantastic. It's unbelievable. It's like no other place in the world. And I'm going to show you around. It's a whole new world here at Pleasure Island. We're outside Mannequin's Dance Palace, which isn't just your typical dance palace. It's got a rotating dance floor, a stage with live dancers, unusual scenery, all kinds of different productions, fireworks, confetti, and more and more. And now for another surprise, the Neon Armadillo.
It's just like rocking at the Opry. Oh,
This kind of music I love, country western.
how many times I sat there hard alone.
Remember what I said about the unexpected? At Pleasure Island, anything can happen. And look who can show up. Are you having fun yet? Because that's what we're all about here at Pleasure Island. And you ain't seen nothing yet. Why don't you come over to Cage with us and bust a move?
Hey, I'm over here now. I'm over here. I told you this club was cutting edge. But if you're having fun here, why don't you come with me over to Zephyr's Rock and Roll Beach Club right now? Uh-oh, time's running out. Hurry, look at this. This show's hilarious. Anything can happen at the Comedy Warehouse. Great party. And it's New Year's Eve on top of that. What's really amazing is it's New Year's Eve every night on Pleasure Island. Now that's fantastic.
Let's get busy.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
Now remember, you have to be at least 18 years old to join the party. Now, special during this 20th anniversary year, every night at Pleasure Island, 2 lucky people will be chosen and given year-long passes, plus other special gifts. I'm telling you, with all that's going on there at Pleasure Island, this year will be one for the record books. And as Art Levitt would say, it's just unbelievable. As the #1 vacation destination in the world, Walt Disney World continues every year to break new records in its theme parks. First, the basics. Walt Disney World covers an area in Central Florida roughly the size of San Francisco. Only 25% of the land is fully developed. With 35,000 cast members or employees, Walt Disney World is not a small world after all. Incidentally, 22,000 of that number dress in costumes every day. What does it take to clean the Magic Kingdom Park? 400 custodians. For all of Walt Disney World, over 1,000. How much grass is cut here every year? The equivalent of 15 more rides around the Earth. And speaking of Earth, the original 12 monorails, operating since Walt Disney World opened in 1971 and recently replaced by more efficient models, in 2 decades have logged a total of almost 12 million miles. That means they could have traveled round trip to the moon and back to Earth 25 times. At Walt Disney World, it's not only the cast members breaking the records, so do the guests. Visitors to the Walt Disney World Resort drink enough liquid each year, mainly soft drinks, to fill up both Typhoon Lagoon and River Country. For statisticians, that's about 3 million gallons of thirst quencher. Imagine eating 3 hamburgers a day for 5,000 years. That would equal the number of burgers consumed in 1 year by guests at Walt Disney World. Annually, 4% of all amateur photos taken in this country are snapped in Disney theme parks. That's almost 500 million shots. A lot of film. Visitors enjoy Walt Disney World merchandise. Enough Mickey Mouse t-shirts are sold in 12 months to outfit every man, woman, and child in Chicago. And enough Mickey Mouse ears are bought up every year to place on the head of almost every person in Pittsburgh. That's a brief look at Disney's World Records.
How would you like to share a closet with 25,000 people? The cast members at Walt Disney World do that every day. Details when we return.
Here at the Disney-MGM Studios theme park, show business is king. In fact, here, you can put yourself in your own epic stunt spectacular and pretend you are Indiana Jones for a day. Now, all it takes is a little outfitting. But here at Walt Disney World, we're not just talking a few outfits for a few Disney cast members. We're talking warehouses full. For the 20th anniversary of Walt Disney World, guests can expect lots of surprises, including a new dress for Snow White. For all costumes, once a design is chosen, seamstresses and tailors create a working pattern. After fittings and alterations are made, the outfit is ready for show. The costumes add more magic to the Walt Disney World theme show experience. The Disney-MGM Studios theme park is where guests can catch a glimpse at costumes being made. It's part of the backstage tour.
We don't make up work. We've been asked that. When the tram comes by, suddenly everybody run to their machines and start sewing on something. What you see here is really what you get. Continuously producing garments.
At Creative Costuming, thousands of garments are designed and manufactured every year to help outfit everyone from maintenance to Mickey, even Mr. President. The rule of thumb for successful clothing that works is simplicity and practicality, but yet entertaining.
It's sort of a combination of engineering and creativity, and it's very challenging.
On the flip side of where the costumes are made is where the clothing is stored and issued for daily use to cast members. One of several locations is beneath the Magic Kingdom, inside the tunnels. Here, almost 3 million pieces exist, in storage space the size of a football field.
Oh boy, hats, shoes, and belts. We probably, just in the Magic Kingdom alone, have somewhere around 10,000.
Not to mention 2 to 3 million shirts, pants, and jackets. It takes an elaborate computer system to keep track of who gets what and in what size.
It's kind of like getting 7,000 to 8,000 kids off to school every morning. So we've got to try and keep up with these people with sizes of costumes. And it's sure a possibility that a guy with 14 feet goes to work at King Stephen's Banquet Hall and we don't have that size 14 pair of boots for him once in a while. But we'll get them. We'll get them one way or the other.
Most of the items here are everyday Disney uniforms. There's also entertainment costuming. The most popular item is the golf shirt. The outfit with the most history is this one for guest relations. It was here 20 years ago and will stay for many more years. The most durable? The butler suits worn at the Haunted Mansion.
Alterations department is really important to us too, because if we didn't have those folks back there working on those costumes, everything eventually would pile up back there. The zippers that don't work anymore, the hems that fall out, the buttons that pop off the shirt. So it's those people that work in the alteration area that really keep the whole operation rolling.
With all this clothing, think of the wash load. 250,000 garments are cleaned every week. It's the kind of job Snow White would understand. After all, she cleaned house for 7 dwarfs. But this year, Snow White's dress was made to party.
Hi, I'm Steve Birnbaum, and despite the fact that 2/3 of the guests at Walt Disney World are grown-ups, this is the prime place for vacations for families with youngsters of all ages. And that's understandable because Walt Disney World is the nation's #1 family vacation destination. Begin any trip by involving kids, by telling them about what they'll see and do. Youngsters like the anticipation and respond best to things that are familiar. All the hotels have playgrounds, though one at the Polynesian is particularly nifty. In-room babysitters can be arranged at all resort hotels and villas. And there's even a center known as KinderCare, which accepts infants through 4-year-olds on a weekly basis. With older children, there's little need for excessive hand-holding inside the Magic Kingdom, Epcot Center, or the Disney-MGM Studios theme park. It's enough just to establish a specific meeting place and time. Strollers are available for a nominal fee to help transport younger children. And don't be too dismayed if your stroller disappears while you're inside an attraction. A replacement is easily obtained. The major attractions of Walt Disney World even offer baby care services that can be helpful in many ways to mothers of young children. Nursing mothers are accommodated in special rooms, and there are high chairs, bibs, and the like available. The baby centers even have facilities for changing infants, preparing formulas, and warming bottles. Finally, the security folks at Walt Disney World are experts at handling those rare instances when a child suddenly disappears or fails to show up on schedule. Lost children logbooks are located all around the property, and all the Disney employees are experts at handling a lost child who starts to call for his or her mommy. The fact is, however, that they are far more often called upon to deal with a lost parent. I'm Steve Birnbaum.
Coming up, you're invited to dinner with Steve Birnbaum at Walt Disney World. only have about 200 wonderful restaurants to choose from.
There's a lot more to Walt Disney World than spectacular parks and attractions. There are great restaurants, like the Hollywood Brown Derby inside the Disney-MGM Studios theme park. Now, let's talk food with food's biggest fan.
Hi, this is Steve Birnbaum, and I write the official guide to Walt Disney World. Thank you. As you can tell, I don't care anything about food. Not much I don't. Maybe that's why dining at Walt Disney World at places like the Yachtsman's Steakhouse gives you dining opportunities that are almost infinite. At the Magic Kingdom, fast food is king, and machines here broil an average of 2,800 hamburgers an hour. Epcot Center has added a whole range of international dining possibilities, so it's possible to sample everything from maple syrup pie and bratwurst to steak and kidney pie and fettuccine alfredo. For kids, the best meal of the day is usually breakfast with the Disney characters, where food takes second place to making friends with the Disney gang. These character breakfasts take place each morning at the Empress Lily Riverboat Restaurant at the Disney Village Marketplace, at the Character Cafe at the Contemporary Hotel, the Cape May Cafe at the Beach Club Resort, and at 1900 Park Fair at the Grand Floridian Hotel. Dinner shows are a staple at Walt Disney World, and if there was one reservation that you should make before leaving home, it would have to be at Pioneer Hall in Fort Wilderness for the wonderfully corny Hoop-Dee-Doo musical review. But don't get the idea that dinner is all fun and games at Walt Disney World. It's possible to dine rather romantically at certain spots. The Empress Room on the Empress Lily Riverboat Restaurant features ambitious cuisine in a very opulent setting. And perhaps the premier Disney-run restaurant is Victoria and Albert's at the Grand Floridian Hotel, where the small dining room seats only about 50 guests, and elegant touches include fine china, silver, and crystal. One oddity here is that all of the waiters and waitresses are named either Victoria or Albert. We really haven't investigated that fact too closely. We've always been too preoccupied testing the food. I'm Steve Birnbaum.
The mystery of Victoria and Albert may never be solved. Now, personally, I prefer my mysteries in the movies. In fact, here at the Great Movie Ride, inside the Chinese Theater, guests actually get to journey through the movies where they can see such classics as Casablanca, The Wizard of Oz, and one of my personal favorites, Mary Poppins.
Walt Disney World celebrates its 20th birthday, but the guests at the party get the birthday surprises. Find out all 20 new reasons to visit when we come back.
Yes, Mickey. What's that? Right now. Fantastic. Mickey says it's time now to let you know all about the 20 spectacular new reasons to visit Walt Disney World.
Surprise!
The best birthday parties are filled with big surprises. This surprise is 13 stories high. The castle and the sky balloon may even visit your town soon. Can't keep the lid on all the surprises? Take a look at these great attractions. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and it's a great adventure land. Climb in, have lunch at the Sci-Fi Diner, a drive-in, dine-in movie experience. The Animal Kingdom joins the Magic Kingdom with a baby manatee exhibit, and Minnie Moo with Mickey Mouse on her side. For those lazy days, poolside, where summer is forever. 3 new resort hotels open this year. the Mardi Gras-inspired Port Orleans, the charming Cajun country dwellings of Dixie Landings, and the New England-style Yacht and Beach Club resorts. Of course you can play golf here. 99 holes on 5 tournament courses make up the Magic Linkdom. Bet you never guessed this one, the latest star of the Disney afternoon, Darkwing Duck. 2 new stage shows are playing to packed houses, The Magnificent Beauty and the Beast and Voyage of the Little Mermaid. Remember, the magic word is surprise. So naturally, fireworks in the daytime. At Pleasure Island, it's New Year's Eve every night. Spectral Magic takes science and technology a giant step forward to create magic. And Sorcery in the Sky Fireworks Fantasy to top it all off. That's 19 surprises. What makes it 20? The daily antics of Roger Rabbit. You can see why the 20th anniversary year is really something. And we hope we've given you at least 20 new reasons to join the celebration. But you know, you only really need just one reason, and that is you've never seen anything like it. Have a great day, everyone, and see you at Walt Disney World.
Beside